just saying it's waiting to go live.
It's not live yet.
Still? Yeah.
And we are underway with the Dragons first serving up. Shatton in the set. Solante puts it over and that hits the net. And the first point of the day goes to the Vikings. Vikings come into this game 11-0. Two teams. Shatton with the serve. And no one gets it for GFA. A quick start for the Vikings here. These two teams met last weekend at GFA for their homecoming. The Vikings taking that one 25-11, 25-10, 20-25, and 25-12. Shatton with the other serve. It's a nice serve here. And the Dragons set it up. It's dug out, and it can't get over the net. And it's the Vikings' quick start again, similar to how they started the game at GFA. 3-0. Shatton will go back for the serve again. It's another good one. Hits the top of the roof, and it goes out. Vikings rolling in the early going, 4-0. And a quick break taken here. What a start for Nora Shatton and the Vikings. 4-0 up on the Dragons. As Nora Shatton will go back to serve once again. First 4 points to the Vikings. Here we go, it's another good one. The Dragons trying to handle it, they gotta get it over. And they do, Vikings in a good position here, nice dig. Sets it up for the slam, and they got it again. The serve comes in, Dragons control it, gotta bump it over, and they do. Shatton bumps, the set, Solante the finish, yes she got it! The Dragons can't handle it, Nicole Solante with the slam, and the Vikings rolling here early, 6-0. Another good serve, the Dragons control it, slam it down, and there's the first point of the day for the Dragons. Mansfield cannot handle the smash. 7-1, Vikings up in the early going.
Oh, my fault.
7-1, it's a weak serve, the Vikings able to handle it. Solante up for the finish. Dragons handle it. Get it over Shatton with the set. Now up for another slam, and they got it again. Vikings absolutely on top to start the match. 8-1 lead over their rivals. As Ellis now with the serve, the only freshman on this Vikings team, and it's a beautiful one. Nice and low. Vikings cruising thus far, 9-1 lead. 9-1 Ellis now up with the serve. Power one into the net. And the Dragons get their second point of the day. And number 3 now, Annie Dizon, back to serve for the Dragons. Trailing 9-2 in the early going. Shatton able to dig it out. And another spike coming up. The Dragons control it. Set it over. The bump. Shatton with the set. Salante with the slam and another finish. The third one of the day for Nicole Salante. 10-2 Vikings here in the opening set. Alex Oxensterna with the serve, and it's too far, can't be handled, and the 3 points keep rolling for the Vikings. As Alex Oxensterna, the junior now, gets set for another one. 11-2 thus far, as the Dragons trying to get it over, and they do. Salante will bump it. The set. And a nice tap over, but the Dragons control it, and a nice control right there by the Vikings. Salante able to bump it over, and the Dragons now will go up for the kill. And it is long! A nice point right there from both sides, with the Vikings taking it 12-2 here in the opener. Fourth point in a row now for the serve, and that one doesn't go over, as the second missed serve of the day for the Vikings. As Devin McCormick for the Dragons will be back to serve now. And it's a good one. Controlled, and it does not bounce in. As the serve was a good one from McCormick, and she'll get another one. 12-4 now here. The Dragons starting to find their footing a little bit. Another good low one. Set for the Dragons. Can the Vikings get it over? No, they cannot. 2 good serves in a row by McCormick, the sophomore, and it's 12-5 now. Will serve it. Salante handles it. Fernet. Frazzoli with the nice little cheeky bump over. Kiki Frazzoli there. And the crowd back into it. 13-5. Board the buses chance from the football team. Salante now, the senior captain, with a nice serve there. Dragons scrambling, they'll get it over. Just a nice dig by Rao up to Shatton, and Salante will bump it over as the Dragons reset here. It's a high spike, but it goes too high into the rafters, and the point awarded to the Vikings. 14-5 is their score in the opening set. Here on Homecoming 2021. The nice serve by Salante there, can't be handled. 3 in a row for her off the serve. The Vikings extend the lead to 10 now. These two teams met last weekend for GFA's Homecoming. The Vikings taking that one in 4 sets, got out quickly in that one as well. And a nice serve, an ace there for Nicole Salante. And the control off the serve has been brilliant for the Vikings thus far. Serve up there, and it floats long, just long there. There's a free point for the Dragons. 4 free points and a change here for the Dragons now. As it would be Ava Powell now to serve it for GFA. A good serve controlled by Ellis, off the net, and Ellis able to scramble to get it over. And a kill coming for the Dragons, dug out by the Vikings, tipped at the net. What a play by the Vikings there, winning the 50-50. And the lead back up to 11. V.V. Mansfield now set to serve it for the Vikings. And drifts in, the Dragons trying to control it, will have to tap it over, and they do. Salante with the set for Shatton on the inside. Oh, and it's a powerful one, can't be handled. Nice and low, textbook, and it's 18-6 now. As the Vikings can taste the first set right now. V.V. Mansfield back to serve once again. And it's another good one. Dragons got to scramble to control it. Bump it over, but Salante will now the bump, the set, the kill, and another one too powerful for the Dragons to handle. V.V. Mansfield with the spike down there, as she'll get back up to serve. A 13-point lead for the Vikings thus far, 19-6 here in the opening set. Mansfield with a serve, handled by the Dragons. They'll bump it over. Salante now bumps up. She'll get the smash attempt now. And the Dragons able to get it over. Salante will set once again. And a nice tip up at the net. And it goes the way of the Vikings. Mansfield once again back to serve. And it's another good one. And the Dragons can't handle it. And the Vikings racing out right now, 21-6 here on homecoming. And the serve, we'll see, did it touch? We'll see what the call is. And it did, and it goes the way of the Vikings there, as the Dragons got a slight touch there before it trailed long. 22-6, Vikings 3 points away from racing out and taking this quick opening set. Mansfield, another good serve. Another scramble to control it. The Dragons handle it. Salante will bump it. The set, the slam, blocked, but it just goes wide. Another point awarded for King School, 23-6 now. As the opening set was 25-11 when they played at GFA last weekend. So another quick start. It's a good serve, nice and low. Shatton kills it right at the net, and it doesn't go over. The Dragons almost scrambled to get that one. Brilliant recognition from Nora Shatton there. And it's now set point. For the Vikings. In the opener, and it's another brilliant serve. And what a way to start homecoming here at King, 25-6 in the opening set. So a quick 3-minute break here in between sets. The Vikings once again racing out to a quick start. 25-11 last weekend when they first played. This weekend, no different, 25-6. As the Dragons look to talk things over and try and find their footing.
they're behaving themselves, if they're not, you take care of them, right?
As now we get set for set number 2. Vikings boat racing in the opener, 25-6. All right, second set, incoming Vikings 25-6 in the opener. The Dragons look to find some sort of footing. And first point of the second set here, Nora Shatton to serve. Won the first 8 points for the Vikings. And a similar story as the first one there. 3 points off the serve. Too much to handle right now for the Dragons. That one is up. And the Dragons once again can't control. Shatton started off the match serving. Won 8 straight points off the serve. And now the first 2 here in the second. And that one's gonna float high off the rafters. They're gonna play it, and the Dragons get it over, but now the Vikings have the power in the point, and Salante with the stuff. Not a successful block there. First 3 points the way of the Vikings here in set number 2. Boom, and that one in the net. So the first one for the Dragons. The one thing so far that the Vikings might need to clean up is the missed serves. 4 of their 6 points in that opener lost off the serve, off serves in the net or long. But otherwise that, it's been a relatively flawless performance from the Vikings as GFA looks to find some sort of footing as the Vikings got out quick in the opening set. As Lily Lynn now for the Dragons, back and ready to serve it over. controlled by Shatton. Set, Salante with the spike. Just long. And the second one for the Dragons. 3-2 here in the opener. In the second set, excuse me. Dulin's serve is up. And a little miscommunication there, but they're able to control. Salante moving the opposite direction. Able to spike it through, find the opening. And 4-2 now in favor of the Vikings. It'll be Caroline Ellis, the only freshman on the team, back to serve it. It's a good one as it's bumped, it's set and trying to be tipped over, but the Dragons cannot handle it. Another good serve there from Ellis, and the Vikings have a 3-point advantage, 5-2 now. Good one controlled by the Dragons. They'll have to hit it over. Yes, they do. Shatton with the bump, and Oxenstierna goes for the kill, and a nice dig by the Dragons there. So they're going to try and have to bump it over, and they do. Oxenstierna with the bump. The set now up to Mansfield, who slams it home right down the center. And the Vikings stretching the lead now 6-2 as Ellis has gotten in a good rhythm on the serve. And that one might have been going long, but the Dragons play it. They're gonna have to bump it over. Shatton goes to retrieve the set. Oxenstierna for the slam. The Dragons able to dig it out, and they'll bump it over. Ellis bumps. Set up to Salante, and it's, oh, and it hits someone in the crowd. Hopefully they're okay. But point goes to the Vikings, 7-2, as that one came flying in. Another good serve from Ellis as the Dragons scramble, trying to smash it over, but in the net. And a similar script as the first set. It's now a 6-point lead as Ellis has gotten in a good rhythm here with 5 straight points off the serve. And as I say that, that's what you call an announcer's jinx right there, as the rhythm is broken. 8-3 now. This will be DeZone back to serve for the Dragons, trying to find some sort of rhythm down 8-3 as Shatton will control it. Oxenstierna's going to go up for the kill. The Dragons dig it out and will bump it back over. Ellis bumps it up to Mansfield for Salante, and another put away for the senior captain, Nicole Salante. Excuse me, that was Katie Harvey on the set there for the Vikings. As Oxenstierna back to serve now. 9-3 Vikings. Dragons trying to stay close and apply a little pressure here. There's another good serve, and it's blocked at the net. Blocked at the net by the Vikings. Number 12, Vivi Mansfield. 10-3 now. Oxenstierna with the serve, a little miss hit, and it goes wide, it goes long. So the Dragons lurking around, staying a lot closer here in the opener than they did in the opener. 10-4. Vikings boat raced in the opening game are set 25-6. As the serve is up from the Dragons, is a short one. Salante with a little poke, hits the top of the net, but rolls over. And the Dragons are gonna have to clear it on this one, and they do. Rao with the bump. Mansfield with a set. Shatton with the slam, and the Dragons can't handle it. Blocked, a ricochet into the Dragons bench, and it's a 7-point lead now. 11-4. Vikings on top and up a set here in the second, now in the second one. Salante with the serve, controlled and set over by the Dragons. Manfield, a nice one to the outside. Shatton flicks it, and the Dragons can't handle it. A nice smart play there from Shatton, and it's 12-4. Salante with a beautiful serve, nice and low, and the 3 points continue to roll in. 13-4. Now. Salante with another beautiful serve. This one dug out by the Dragons. And they'll put it over to a nice dig by Rao off the net. Still up in the air. A nice tap over there. And a crazy point there won by the Vikings as the ball was up for grabs as it hit the top of the tape and rolled over. But everything falling the way of the Vikings right now as the lead is quickly ballooned to 10 after 4 points in a row off Nicole Salante's serve. It's a nice dig there by the Dragons. They'll have to try and clear it out, and they do. Rao with the bump. Harvey with the set. And a little tap over, handled and read by the Dragons. As they're going to have to bump it over. Salante with a nice bump, slips. Rao with the set, and Ellis will bump it over. As now the Dragons go up for the kill. Oh, and Salante takes one right to the face. As the Dragons stop the run of points there. It'll be Alicia Farber back to serve for the Dragons, trailing the Vikings 14-5 here on 2021 homecoming weekend. As Shatton able to handle the serve, now she'll go up for the kill off the top of the net, and it rolls over and drops in. As Vivi Mansfield back to serve, she got a good rhythm off the serve in the opening set. 15-5 is your score. And again, as I talked about good rhythm, one goes long. Kate Ewing now back to serve for the Dragons. That one just crawls over, and Ellis can't handle it. And 2 points in a row for the Dragons. So still hanging around here in the second. $15-7, and that serve out off the heads. I got it. And 16-7 now. Kate Harvey back to serve. And the Dragons trying to control, will have to bump it over. And they do. Ellis now sets to Harvey, who's going to go to Shatton with the spike, but it just sails long. As the Dragons, a lot better play here in the second. Still trailing by 8. Number 12, Lily Lynn back to serve for GFA. Trailing by 8 here in the second after the Vikings boat race to a 25-6 opener. And another point falls the way of the Dragons, trying to work their way back into this. Team 9, the serve is up, handled by the Vikings. Another tough point that goes the way of GFA as the ball just almost crossed over, but didn't. A little confusion there as 4 points in a row as the Dragons have gotten a good rhythm off the serve. 16-10 now. And that one is up and just too short for the Vikings to handle. And all of a sudden, the Dragons are back in it. 16-11 after the Vikings started up 16-6, 5 in a row for GFA. And as I say that, another jinx on this serve. So as Nora Shatton goes back to serve. And the serve is up, it's another good one. It's gonna be tough to control and they can't do it as the initial bump floated a little too close to the net there. 18-11. Another good serve there. Dragons are gonna try and scramble to recover. And they do, that's tipped at the net. And it crawls over for the Vikings. And that one drops in along the left corner. 18-12 here in the second. First one once again going the way of the Vikings, 25-6. As the Dragons are slowly crawling their way back into this one as Shatton with the initial set off the serve, and a power spike by Ellis. Just what the Vikings needed to shift the momentum back in their favor. As Ellis will go back to serve. The Dragons gonna bump it over. Bump Mansfield, Harvey with the set. Salante with another punch away along that side, right down the center. And just as GFA was starting to work their way back into it, the Vikings have expanded the lead back to 8. As Ellis will go back for another serve. As it's a good one. The Dragons, it's dug out at the top of the net by Katie Harvey. Excuse me, B.B. Mansfield there. 21-12, Vikings 4 points away from a 2-set cushion. Another good serve from Ellis there. The Dragons punch it over. Now Ellis with the set, with the bump, excuse me. Salante goes up for the kill, flicks it over. The reflex is there off the net as 22-12 is your score now. The Vikings have expanded it to a 10-point lead as Ellis with another good serve there. As the Dragons are trying to put it away. Ellis with a little bump. Now the set and the finish, yes! Katie Harvey. B.B. Mansfield, excuse me. With the finish there as the Dragons can't handle it. So Vikings 2 points away from the set. Ellis a nice low serve dug out by the Dragons as they bump it over. Shatton's gonna bump the set. The spike by Oxensterna in the net. So GFA still hanging around here, 23-13. Annie Dizon back to serve as Salante to Harvey, to Oxensterna, but the Dragons control it. No, they can't, as the point awarded to the Vikings, and they couldn't get over on 3 shots. And now an array of set points to go up 2-0 here on homecoming. Alex Oxensterna with the serve in the net. So not done just yet here in the second. As Karina Rao comes back in for the Vikings. 24-14. Up to Harvey. Solange gonna go for the kill, and she does! And the Vikings take the second set 25-14 and are in business, as when they played last Saturday, they got the 2 sets cushion for the Dragons to come back and take the third. But when we come back, we'll have the third set here. 25-14 in the second, 25-6 in the first. And don't forget, still plenty of action here at Homecoming as the boys varsity soccer team about to start in 15 minutes on the turf field against GFA. Also football coming up at 3 o'clock against the Tilton School. And girls varsity soccer just getting underway at 1:30.
I don't know why this thing keeps dying on me. Oh, it's almost out of juice, it looks like. Maybe that's why. This isn't my phone. I need a new phone, but mine still kind of works.
Third set here as the Vikings look for the clean sweep here at Homecoming 2021, looking to continue their undefeated season and go to 12-0.
What are you guys up to?
As it's the Dragons to start serve. To start, it'll be Lily Lind. As we are underway here in the third set, as Harvey will set for Oxenstierna with a little poke. Dragons can't dig it out. A nice little cheeky play there from Alex Oxenstierna with the spin. As the first point of the third goes to King. And senior captain Nora Shatton back to serve. 7-0. It's a good serve. The Dragons scrambling to get it over, and they do. As Harvey with the set will go up to Salante, who finishes it at the net. Another kill for Nicole Salante. Nothing for the Vikings here, as the Dragons will go up for the kill. It's a nice little softie. Can't be dug out there. Great play by the Dragons to get on the board here in the third. Some changes for the Dragons. It'll be senior captain Avery Woodworth, who goes back to serve. 2-1, and we got a whistle. It'll go the way of the Dragons. So the score is now tied at 2. Two, and the serve in the net. So the Vikings up one will get the serve advantage for Caroline Ellis, who's had a good serving day thus far. Three-two, and another good serve. As the Dragons do well to get it over. Shatton with a nice bump set, and Salante finishes it. And we're going to wait for an official ruling here. And it's going to go the way of the Dragons there. Just a tear wide there. So 3 apiece here in the third. As Salante bumps it to Harvey. It's a tough one, and it's going to hit the antenna. So it'll go the way of the Dragons for their first lead. Four-3 here in the third. Salante now to Harvey. Back to Salante, who puts it away. As when the Vikings needed a point there, they got it. 4 apiece here in the third. As Karina Rao checks back in to serve for the Vikings. And the Dragons will go up for the kill. Rao digs it out. Now to Salante, little miscommunication there about who had it in the middle. And the Dragons retake the lead 5-4. As there's the Dragons not letting the Vikings pull away like they did in the opening 2. Forward, a nice dig by Ellis. They're Harvey gonna have to try and set it. They get it over as the Dragons go up for the kill and off the hands of the Vikings there. So Dragons now 6-4 up in the third. Shatton digs it up, gonna go over, so the Dragons need to get it over here, and they do, and it's blocked, and it'll go the way of the Dragons as the Vikings reach over the net there. So 7-4 is your score. 7-4 is the score, and we've got another waiting here for the official. As Both captains come to the center. So a little confusion. So it looks like they might do it again. 7-4 Dragons in front here in the third. Their largest lead in any set thus far. Again, Harvey with the set. Solante adjusts her feet, and it goes way up. Dragons trying to control on the outside. We're gonna wait for a ruling, and it'll go the way of the Vikings to stop the run of GFA. 7-5 GFA up in the third, but the Vikings up 2 sets to nothing, 25-6 and 25-14. As Solante's serve goes wide, and a similar theme to what we saw last Saturday at GFA with the Vikings getting out quickly up 2 sets before the Dragons were able to reset and ultimately take the third. As 8-5 is your score. As a change for the Dragons, 8-5 lead for GFA. 8-5 Shatton with the bump, the set, and a nice little soft dig there from the Vikings. Number 12, Vivi Mansfield, smartly reading the Dragons there. So 8-6 GFA in front here in the third, as Mansfield will now go back to serve. As King looks to ring off a couple points in a row here off the serve. As the Dragons trying to handle it, but it goes wide. The awkward serve throwing the Dragons off, and the Vikings back to within 1 now. 8-7 here in the third. Mansfield the serve, it crawls over the net, and the Vikings get a little lucky break there, and they are back all even in the third, split at 8 apiece. Mansfield with another good serve there, drawing the Dragons out wide. Would be good to get it back. Harvey with the set, and the spike and finish from Caroline Ellis, the freshman. And the Vikings back in front here in the third, 9-8. Ellis with another good serve. And it's blocked at the net by Shatton, but the Dragons recover as Harvey will bump it up. Shatton's gonna go for the slam. Blocked, but the Dragons can't handle it. Bodies hit the deck, but the power of Nora Shatton too much there. And 5 in a row for the Vikings. 10-8 here in the third. 10-8, good serve, goes way up. The Dragons able to find it. A nice spike there to get it over. Shatton's gonna go up for the kill, and the Dragons can't handle it. 6 in a row now. And a 3-point deficit has become a 3-point lead. (11-8) now for the Vikings. As Ellis with the serve, the Dragons bump it over. A nice dig by Rao. Shatton gonna try and finish it at the net. Smartly just taps it over. And that one goes way up in the rafters, and it's gonna go the way of the Vikings. As 2 high ones there. The Dragons did a good job to control the first one, but lost the second one up there, so. The streak continues 7 points in a row, and a 4-point lead now here in set 3 as they go for this, as the Vikings go for the sweep here on homecoming. As Solante will set it up, and the Vikings get it over, and the Dragons control. Another spike denied at the net, but it just goes wide. So GFA still hanging around here in the third, 12-9. Salante up to Harvey, he goes to Shatton, who puts it away. Nora Shatton with the kill right down the pipe. And a 4-point lead for the Vikings, 13-9. As Katie Harvey to serve it for the Vikings. And the Dragons clear it over with a lovely shot there. They looked in trouble at the start, but Salante couldn't dig out the shot. So 13-10 as GFA not letting the Vikings pull away. And the serve goes in the net. So a free point for King, 14-10, and Nora Shatton goes once again goes back to serve. It's another good serve. Dragons gonna have to scramble to get it over, and they just do. Shatton able to dig it out. And Ellis with another slam. As the Vikings starting to find their rhythm here in the third, leading by 5 after trailing by 3 earlier. Shatton with the serve down the middle. It just goes wide, no touch there. So 15-11 now. As the Dragons serve it over, Ellis goes up for the spike. And another kill there for the Vikings. So both teams trading points back and forth, 16-11. It's been a 5-point gap for a little bit now. And a nice serve. The Dragons gonna have to try and scramble, but can't get there. This was another great serve from Caroline Ellis. 17-11, Vikings 8 points away from completing the sweep on homecoming. The high toss, and just a little miss hit there. Annie Dizon for GFA to serve it. Shatton controls it to Harvey. Salante goes up for the kill. Dragons able to dig it out, but can they get it over? They cannot, as the initial one went high up and touched the ceiling. So 18-12 now, as Salante did a good job off the low set. As Delaney Marsh now to serve it for the Vikings. As a nice tap by Salante, but it just goes wide. Wow. 18-13. As it's Devin McCormick to serve it for GFA, and it's a good one. Ellis digs it out, and Salante goes up for the spike, and another kill for Nicole Salante. As the Vikings have done a great job of controlling the Dragons' serve and getting good looks at the kill. So 6-point lead now as Nicole Salante goes back to serve. As it's a good serve, but the Dragons control it. The attempted kill, and it goes wide. But it's going to go the way of GFA there. It might have been a touch from the Vikings. Thankfully, it did not hit Mr. Shoemaker. He is okay. 19-14 in the third. Ava Powell to serve it away for GFA. Ellis controls, Harvey tips it over, and the Dragons able to get it back. Ellis with the bump, Harvey sets to Shatton, who spikes it away, and the point goes to the Vikings. So 5 points now from victory. 20-14. As Vivi Mansfield to serve. And the Dragons up for the kill off the top of the net and blocked, but it still crawls over. We've seen a couple of those from both sides today. 20-15 now in the third. Vikings won the opening set 25-6 and the second set 25-14, 20-15 here in the third. GFA comes in at 7-5 while the Vikings look to continue their unbeaten season, and Salante got a touch on that serve before it went long. (2016) as the Dragons look to creep their way back into this third and force a fourth like they did at their homecoming last Saturday. Ellis with Harvey with the set. So Shatton goes for the kill, rolls back over, but it's going to point awarded to the Vikings there. Katie Harvey, the sophomore, to serve it up as we have some changes for the Dragons as Andy Dizon comes back in. Katie Harvey with a good serve there and killed away. And the point goes to GFA as she touched the net on the finish there. So a little unlucky for the Vikings. So Lily Lind now to serve it from the right side for GFA. Salante controls it. Harvey tips it over. Little commotion as no touch there by the Vikings. So the spike in the net. And 3 points away from a sweep here on homecoming. (22-17). Serve goes long. As senior captain Woodworth, Avery Woodworth, to serve it for GFA, trying to stick in this set. Salante with the bump. Harvey with the set, back to Salante. Finish at the net. We've seen a lot of those today. And 2 points away now are the Vikings. Caroline Ellis got a good rhythm serving here in the middle of the third set as they trailed 8-5 before they rung off 7 points in a row. As that serve goes long, the second miss in a row for the Vikings, so 23-19. As Dizon will go back to serve for GFA. Still hanging around, 23-19, Vikings trying to get to the finish line. Salante now to Harvey, who will go up to Marsh. He does a good job just to get it over. As Ellis bump, set, Shatton with the finish. Just a little long. As the Vikings wanted a touch there, but no touch. So 23-19 now. Or excuse me, 23-20 is the score. Salante to Harvey, now go back to Salante, who finishes it. And the Vikings got a couple match points coming up, 24-20 here in the third. As they got the win over GFA last weekend, trying to do the same as Delaney Marsh to try and serve it out. And the serve drops in, and that'll do it. The Vikings pull off the clean sweep, 25-6, 25-14, and 25-20, and continue their unbeaten season at 12-0, while the Dragons drop to 7-6 on the season. Still plenty of homecoming action coming up as the both soccer teams in action, and we conclude with football at 3 o'clock. 12-0 for the Vikings. And that will do it for this broadcast. Thank you so much for joining us on YouTube. Once again, the final score, Vikings with a clean sweep over the Dragons, 25-6, 25-14, and 25-20, as they improve to 12-0 on the season and their second win over the Dragons this season.